Alright, now that we've finished running GeoGrid, let's go ahead and start getting some data and unpacking it. First thing we need to do is go grab the data. So there's a link down here on the desktop. It says UCAR dataset DS609.2. Go ahead and click on that. It should bring up a browser window, and it should take you straight to the dataset homepage for the dataset that we're going to be working with for this tutorial, which is DS609.2. And we want to go to data access. So there's a little tab you can click on. That's going to require you to sign in. If you don't have an account, you'll have to get one. Luckily, I have an account. So go ahead and sign in there. And once you are signed in, you should see some link here for internet download. Go ahead and click on that. And now we can see all the data that we're going to be able to grab and the different ways we can get it. So what we want to do is grab both 3D analysis and the surface analysis at the same time. So go ahead and click on this button here that says download data now. That should bring up a list. We need to get 2011 data, so we'll get our 3D analysis data first. And what we want is the 1st through the 15th. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 16th through the 30th as well, just so I have the entire month in case I want to work with it. But they are big files, so if you just want the one, just grab the one. Alright, so if you click on this link, it should download a file with your data. It's about 700 megs. I've already got them, so I'm not going to go ahead and click on them. So what I got for this tutorial is this 17, index 17 and index 18. And once you've got those downloaded, go ahead and click on this top group list. And then we also want to get the surface analysis data, so go ahead and click on SF Anal 2011. That's going to give us our surface analysis data, and this comes by the month instead of 15-day increments, so we just want to get index number 9, which is going to be all of the 9th month. So go ahead and click on that. Once you've done that and downloaded all 3 of those data sets, or just the 2, you can go ahead and close that browser, and then we'll go ahead and look in our downloads folder. You should see these files here. So we want to grab all 3 of those, go ahead and cut those, and we're going to take those and put them in our local data. And since it's an AWIP dataset, we're going to go ahead and put this in AWIP datasets. If it was a RUC dataset, you could put it in here. And DS609.2 is the one we want. We're going to put them in this base directory first. And what we're going to do is just open up each one at a time. And there's a folder in here. And I'm going to go ahead and select all those. And then I'm just going to take those and put them in our dataset directory. So that's going to take and put all that data that came from this archive and put them straight into that folder so that we can work with them. And you're going to do that with all 3 of these, or just the 2 if you got both of them. Just make sure you have the surface analysis data and the 3D analysis data for the dates that you're going to be working with. In this case, the 5th through the 10th. So once you've got all that data in there, you can go ahead and get rid of these. We don't need them. And then just to make sure your data is in there, go ahead and open that directory and make sure that you have your surface analysis data and 3D analysis data. And you should have data for all the times that you need. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to local. And the next thing we want to do is go ahead and link those, the type of data file. So we want to create a soft link called, or from ungrib, variable tables / vtable. And there's a bunch of different vtable types. We want AWIP, and then we want to link that to a local file called vtable. And then if I do an ls-la, that's going to give me a listing of this directory. At the bottom, you should see a link called vtable, which links to ungrib / variable tables / variable table.awip. And this is actually an incorrect link that I created earlier, so you don't want one of those. And I'll go ahead and get rid of that. Yep, so now we just have the vtable link. Okay, so now that we have that link set up, we can go ahead and actually run our linking script, which is going to, it's just a C shell script. we're going to run on our data files. So we need to remember where we put those, and that's in the home directory /local /data /awip datasets. And if you ever forget what they are, you can always just do a double tab with nothing there, and it'll give you a list of the directories. And then that's also in, and you notice when I tab there's only one thing there, so now I have 2011-09, and that's exactly what I want. And basically you just want a pattern that's going to match the name of only the data that you want to link. So all the data that I'm working with has a prefix of 2011-09. So if I just leave that as is, it'll match every file that has a prefix like that. And once you have that linked, you should be able to just ungrib. And you run ./ungrib.exe, and then we're also going to dump that into a log. And you can do it like this, with a greater than symbol, and then an ampersand, and then whatever the file name you want to make. So we're going to just create a log file called ungrib.tutorial.log, and that's going to take all the results of the console output from running ungrib.exe, and it's going to dump it into a log file called ungrib.tutorial.log. And go ahead and hit enter. And as soon as that's done running, it should generate a log for us, and that is everything we need to do for ungrib. Which brings us to metgrid, and we'll get to that next.